First things first, I thought Houston had a great plan. I thought they played well. I thought we looked like we came off of a bye week where we were sluggish and slow in that first quarter, and I thought they did a great job taking advantage of it. I'd be remiss, and sometimes you get in a position as a coach where you have to make decisions about what you're going to say and what you're going to talk about. And like it or not, for my kids, I'm going to talk about this timeout that I called adamantly and vehemently with 7 seconds on the clock when Kylie Torrance got an offensive rebound and then passed it to Reagan Jackson, and I'm still screaming timeout. So in my opinion, the game could have ended the same way. We could have sidelined, inbounded it, and they could have stolen it and shot a layup because that's what has happened to us, right? But we should not have been on defense in that last possession. And even still, even though we made some mental errors, and Hunter made a huge, huge shot. So I want to be careful because I don't want to take anything away from Houston and the job they did. But I think it's important, as my kids are sitting with their head hanging down, that they know that their coach tried to call a timeout to give us an opportunity to inbound the ball with 5 seconds left instead of being on defense.
Katrina, what would you say was the biggest X factor that could have swung the game in any way?
Yeah, it's interesting. At first, I thought it was rebounding because we were getting out rebounded there for a second, and I thought we fought back. But really, what Houston did was made some huge shots. I mean, every time we tried to come back and create some sort of distance, you have Merchant who makes a shot. I think it's important to note the job that 23 did. I don't want to butcher her name, but she did a great job, and I thought she played really hard, and she made big shots. This was just an overall huge team performance for them, but I thought Hunter was the biggest difference.
Coach, what did UH do in that first quarter to cause you problems?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because we looked so bad in terms of we turned the ball over 6 times in the first quarter and 1 time in the second. And I think that was some of them and some of us. But what I thought they did a great job of was taking advantage of it. I mean, they had 10 fast break points to our 0 in the first quarter. I just thought that they showed up ready to play. And as much as we tried to fight back the distance they created in the beginning, it was just hard for us to again, create some distance.
Coach, I know you have quite a few freshmen on your team. Tell me a little bit about the mindset of, I know we're still in season right now, but just the impact that the freshmen that you have who play and who are really, really impactful. Tell me your thoughts about that when you're playing for them.
Yes, it's a choice to be young. You know, you can either get in the portal and get some kids with more experience, or you can take the ones out of high school. And what we believe to have some sustainability. And we know that there'll be ups and downs. And to your point, I mean, we have 3 freshmen on the floor in some very, very, very crucial moments. And you can go back to that play. Like Kalia DeVillisty doesn't keep the ball in front of her, freshman. Joya Crawford steps over to stop, freshman. The next person to rotate to the corner was Kylie Torrance, freshman. But what we hope, and I think we've seen that throughout the year, that their growth is worth the ups and downs because they're going to remember these moments. I mean, there's tears in that locker room. And I think that what you get is the next time we're in this situation, we guard the ball a little better. If the ball's loose, we go jump on top of it, or we make sure we don't come off ball side. And so I love those kids. D. Alexander got a huge rebound put back for us, right? That's the 4th one we're talking about. So it's going to be great because we anticipate retaining them, which we all know in these days is really difficult. But I think they play not just for Cincinnati, but they play for each other. And we're going to try to keep it that way.
Coach, outside of today, you guys have beaten teams like Iowa State. Does that, like, especially giving them their fits, does that kind of speak to, like, the growing depth of this conference year by year?
I think so. I think it's the potential of this conference. And I talk about it all the time. The toughest thing about being in the Big 12, there's 2 things. One is the travel. Okay, because when you're cutting over time zones back and forth, and it's not even us Eastern-wise, I think it's tougher for the folks out west to come over, 2 hours and play in the Eastern time zone. And the second thing is just the variety of styles. So we can get into who's first place, second place, or who's in the top 25, but really I think that when you play a style that matches yours, the game is going to be a little closer. And then when you don't, it's going to be a little further away unless you can take advantage of the type of style that they play. So when we say Iowa State, when you say Arizona State, I think those are just matchups that we're tough for them the same way that Kansas State is tough for us. But that's why I love the Big 12. We grow and we get stretched with every single game.
Coach, from majority of the game, it seemed that both teams had each other number for number. Especially you basically punished each other's interior defenses. You ended up with, I think, 42 paint points. Houston ended up with 38. What does that tell you just about the competitiveness? Like reading each other's game plans.
I think it's a lot of toughness. I think it's a lot of grit. You're talking, to your point, 23 total second chance points between both teams. So I think we both understand the importance of rebounding the ball and getting other opportunities. We obviously didn't shoot it well from the three. It's hard when Maya Perry can't get going for us. She's a huge part of what we do. But it happens sometimes, and then you turn around, and I thought Houston, especially, again, Hunter did a great job making us respect everything. She twos, threes, getting to the free throw line.
Coach, what are some of the keys to maintain and retain your freshmen?
Yeah, I think it's important that they are bought into more than just basketball. We have a tremendous city. Of course, there's a lot to do, but more importantly, we have great supporters and fans, people who show up, not just to games, but to practices. I think a sense of belongingness is always going to be the answer to anyone wanting to stay where they are. And so we work really hard to cultivate that culture in our program, and that's where you hear us talk about the sisterhood a lot, but it extends through all of our other sports. Our athletic department talks about one team. We go to other people's games. They come to ours. We just do our best to create a space where even on your toughest days, you still want to be a Bearcat. And it takes a lot of work, a lot of energy, but me and my staff love it, and it's something that's shared through our administration. And we've been pretty good with it so far, so we're going to keep our fingers crossed it stays that way. Okay. Thank y'all.